Hi, I am your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor, Latricia Booker, here with Kingdom Business. Well, we are empowered. When we heal, we get delivered, and we get free. We know who we are. We elevate our minds and our spirits and raise and expand our consciousness to ultimately walk in our true divine purpose and power. And that is the truth of who God has created us to be. Kingdom people, we are. We are history makers. We are world changers. We are dream successors. We are wealth generators. We are manifestors. We are curse breakers. And we most definitely are transformers. More than meets the eye. Yeah, Kingdom people. We are. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for viewing my videos. Thank you for all the likes, subscribe, shares. Thank you for all your comments and your feedback and all of your encouragement and all of your testimonies, Kingdom people. Thank you for all of the seeds that you sow into me and my ministry, for all the financial contributions to my channel, for all of your bookings and everything that you do here on Kingdom Business. Thank you, Kingdom people, so very much. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you. So, Kingdom people, I am on location. And you already know what I'm here to do. And if you don't know, then now you know. I am here to drop this beat, this word, this message. Yeah. So, Kingdom people, listen up. This is what God was talking to me about. He said they are asking, why you? Why you? Why her? Why him? Kingdom people, they want to know why God chose you. Why you get the opportunities. Why you get to be blessed. Why you get to do whatever he calling you to do. Listen, Kingdom people, while I was trying to say all that, why I was hearing, why you have to go through all this and get all these attacks and get all... They ain't asking why that. They just asking why you all the good part. But all the not so nice part, they ain't asking why her. But this the funny part, Kingdom people. Some people be hating on the fact that some people, I've learned, some people hate what some would call struggle. Some people hate that you go through what you go through. Let me tell you why. Because you can endure and overcome. So sometimes people be even hating on that because you can overcome it. But they're asking why you. They want to know why God choosing you. Listen, for the most part, Kingdom people, we already know it's because he chose you. And the thing is, Kingdom people, he chose them for something to at one point in time or another, but they didn't even choose to do it. They went in another direction. And so instead of owning that, dealing with that, acknowledging that, or whatever, they want to know why you. Some of them really don't get it, though. Some of them really don't get it, but this is what God gave me more so than anything concerning this message. He said the reason why it's you, why he chose you, he says because you allow him to pour himself and his light into you. So you can reflect his glory and be a beacon of light to others. And he said, there is no room for pride. So, Kingdom people, why you? Because you allow God to pour himself and his light into you. Kingdom people, is because you don't have no pride. Now, you may have had some prideful ways and some ego that needed to be corrected at one point. But the key is that you allowed him to correct you. And even if now he dealing with you, humbling you. Because sometimes God has to humble us. I know I've had to be humble a time or two in the past, and even here and there, not much anymore. I have my little moments. I go on my little rants with God. And, I can get besides myself and God will be like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But the point is, you don't just allow that to take you over. And if you ever were just in a place, or if you are in a place, like I said, maybe God is dealing with you with that. You're allowing yourself to be dealt with so that God can pour himself into you, so that God can pour his light into you, so that he can use you to be a beacon of light for others, for this world I'm hearing. So kingdom people, they want to know why you. And it's because everything I just said, what you do, allow God to pour himself into you, allow him to pour his light into you. They don't do that. They don't allow God to pour himself into you. They don't allow God to pour their light into his light into them. Some of these ones are very prideful, very much so prideful. They want their own way. They want to be in control. Some of them even want to tell God what to do. I'm reminded of, it's funny, these two people coming up right now. I'm reminded of a couple of loved ones. One, I remember having a conversation with them. It's been some time ago, last year or something like that. And this person was telling me how we just talking in conversation, and they said that they had already told Jesus that they not finna stop cussing. That ain't finna happen. And I thought that was interesting because, number one, you telling Jesus what you gonna do. So it's the thing where if Jesus trying to tell you, no, I need you to stop doing that, you basically saying, no, you're not. So that's not allowing God to pour himself into you and pour your light into you. God can't even correct you, or you can't even let God lead you, because you letting God tell you what you is and what you ain't gonna do. That's not allowing God to lead you and instruct you. So he can't use you when you have that kind, when your person has that kind of attitude. He can't pour himself and his light into you. That's pride. That's a form of pride, saying I'm not doing this. And this is what has been, this person said they told Jesus that him and Jesus had that conversation already. At a later time, they mentioned to me that they just want to do what's pleasing to God. I thought that was weird, because I remembered when they said they had already told Jesus what they ain't gonna do. So that's not wanting to do what's pleasing to God, because you're dictating what you will and won't do. So what I knew about that in that instance was that person knew that was my attitude. I had even shared it with them. So in that moment, they were just trying to make it seem like them too, not realizing, no, because you already said your disposition. But it was another situation with a different person. All this is just kind of coming to me. Having a conversation with this other person at one point, and first of all, they had received some information about a job from someone by email that was for someone else. They told me all this, that if they didn't didn't send the email to the person it was for, who it was sent for, they kept it for themselves and said, no, I'm going to apply for this. So they did. They ended up getting a job, but they really couldn't pull it off. It was not working out for them because it wasn't for them. That person, in that moment when they were sharing this with me, was letting me know that they were a thief. Later on down the line, there was some things that happened and transpired where I realized that that's what they do. They try to take from others, but it's real underhanded and sneaky. And if you're not paying attention, you won't know what they're doing. But this person was telling me that they were a thief. And they took what was supposed to be from someone else, for someone else, and tried to use it for themselves, but it flopped. It didn't work out for them overall. But in one conversation, while they were still at this job, they told me that they told God, listen, I'm going to go to this job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. They was telling me what they was telling God instead of asking God, what should I do? First of all, the job wasn't ever for them, which is why it didn't work out. But they then went on to even share how they was telling God how it was going to go down. So I'm saying all that to say that that's not a person who allows God to pour himself into them. That's not a person who allows God to pour his light into them. That's a person with pride, because you running the show, and you telling God how the show gonna go instead of letting God tell you how the show gonna go. So kingdom people, these ones, and listen, they're asking why you. But those two people that I just shared with you all are two of the people that I've been made aware of that ask God, why me? Or wonder, why me? They trying to figure out why me. I just gave y'all some reasons why. They don't allow God to pour into them. They don't allow God to pour his light into him. They're prideful. And you know, it's so funny that these two particular people came up, because God was just talking to me about these two people last night and showing me how they be mocking me. You know, they mock me. I guess kind of make fun of me. You know how people are mock or like mimic you, but to make fun. But it's interesting because, and then these are people I don't deal with like that anymore, because God had to move me around them, because I was seeing it for what it was. It just wasn't working out. And then the one I shared in the beginning, one time when I was with them and I was doing something, you know, and I could see out of my peripheral, they were standing right there and they was giving, you know how people look at you like that. I seen it. Now, kingdom people don't know sometimes, many a times they don't be aware of their demeanor, but I was aware. It was other little things going on, behaviors where I was peeping stuff, and you know how you just go with stuff and just take note and pay attention. And then we had some previous situations years ago where I had to bag up from this person for similar reasons. So as we going on, and you know I'm seeing all these behaviors, certain things happening, eventually God was like, okay, it's time to move around. So I'm saying all that to say, these two people mocks me. These two people are the same two people that, and I'm just using these as examples, are the same two people that, and it ain't just them, these are just examples, that don't allow God to pour into them. They don't allow God to pour his light into them. They're very prideful. They want to run their own show. These kind of people, just in general, not them per se, but the ones I just spoke of per se, but something, you know, it's just on me how some of these people feel like you can't tell them nothing. And God has shown me that they be wanting to be the one. You know, maybe many of you have wisdom, you have knowledge, you have understanding, you move and you operate a certain way. I'm just hearing, for God's sake, you are anointed, you are God's elect, you are kingdom people. So yeah, you have a swag about you, you have a way about you. I just keep hearing you are anointed. And so people have this thing where they recognize that about you, but they feel like it should be them. However, they don't allow God to pour himself into them. They don't allow God to pour his light into them, and they are very prideful. And I'm hearing they ain't into God like that. Some of them are, but really ain't, if that makes sense. They are into God like that, but they won't allow God to pour into them. So they're wondering, why you? Why you, kingdom people? Because you allow God to pour himself into you. You allow God to pour his light into you. You walk with him. You talk with him. He tells you you are his own. And the joy you share as you tarry there, none other has ever known. Wow, that just hit me. Anyway, kingdom people, I want to sing some more, but let me stay focused. Kingdom people, they want to know why you. But these same people know that they not doing things decent and in order, is what I just heard. They know they not, you know, that people know, kingdom people, they want to be of, I want to say of the world, but as I said, some of them call themselves with God, and I'm not saying they not. However, they're carnal too. I get we have to process and we have to get there, and work has to be done on us. And I'm hearing this keep coming up. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. These ones are not being transformed in a way where they're allowing God to pour into them and pour his light into them. They're not allowing that. So God can't really use them like he used you. Many are called, but few are chosen. You answered the call. God chose you. He chose you because you answered. I'm hearing 1 million didn't make it, but you are one of the ones who did. So many fall by the wayside. God is separating the wheat from the tare. Everybody is not letting God pour himself and his light into them. Some of these ones are too prideful to allow God to pour into them for many different reasons. They want to be the I don't even know what to call it. I want to say they want to be the controller of their own show. And I'm just hearing, we are not our own. They'll say it, they'll speak it, they'll quote the scripture, but are they really doing it? I'm hearing be not hearers of the word, but be doers. But furthermore, when God is nudging you to do certain things, and not just nudging you to do certain, well, yeah, let me stay with that train of thought. When God is nudging you to do some things and you won't do it, you're not allowing God. So why won't God? Why is it you and not them? When they asking, why you? Why you? Because you're not allowing God to do what he needs to do in you. These ones, kingdom people, do not allow God to do what God wants to do in them the way you do. And so that's why. They want to know why you. And it's because you allow God. For real. Furthermore, kingdom people, let me tell you something else. You ain't hating. You ain't jealous. You ain't trying to block nobody, stop nobody, feeling no kind of way. I just did an excerpt on this for a client today. Did a brief summary on why people project on you. And the reason why people project on you is because of their own insecurity issues and demons that they won't deal with. It's a thing where instead of confronting their own issues, they just pass them off on you and project them off on you to make them feel better, to think it, to not sacrifice, but to save their own self-esteem, like to protect their self-esteem. And temporarily, it may seem like it's doing that if their attempts on the person that they're projecting on work, but they still left with the same issues. So what am I saying, kingdom people? You deal with your stuff. You work through yourself. You allow God to correct you and deal with you. And I'm not saying it's easy. I talk to people on a regular basis, and something I heard recently is how basically this person came to the realization throughout talking that they trying to control things. I didn't even say it. They did. Just through talking, they realized what they were doing. And so even though they're not on the end of doing the negative and demonic things, you know, it's more of a thing of trying to, the point that I was making here is that they acknowledge. They were able to see. They're doing the work to help themselves and see what they need to see. Them ones, nope. That only goes so far. If they have to they have to confront something and see something and deal with something that they feel is too much, because it might be too much. But with God, you know, you can do anything. He'll help you through it. But when you're not willing to go through that, because it can be painful. And that's the key here, kingdom people. You may have went through some painful things. You had to confront some stuff within yourself. And see, the thing is, you have to deal with and confront things and be cleared up and cleansed from things and healed from things, corrected in some ways, so God can properly use you, so he can pour himself into you. And many a times it happens simultaneously. As you're clearing up, he's pouring himself. You're clearing up because, you know, when you clear out that stuff, you got to replace it with something better. You're replacing it with him, whether it be him, himself, his spirit, his word, whatever. You're doing that. Kingdom people, many of these ones are holding onto a lot of their, I want to say, issues. A lot of these people are holding on to insecurities. They're pacifying their insecurities. They're not overcoming them, doing the work that needs to be done so they can be secure in the areas where they're insecure. They want everything and everybody around them to pacify them. Thus, why they project onto you, because they're trying to pacify their insecurities. And so, kingdom people, when you don't deal with those things, they do become demonized. That's how demons, that's one of the ways demons dwell in you. They inhabit your temple because you're not dealing with the issues. You're not confronting the issues before they get that far. I don't want to go too much into that. I did just need to hit on that because that was on me. But the point is, kingdom people, God can't use you properly. He can't do what he wants to do with you on another level if you're not allowing him to work through you and help clear those things up in you, so that he can then and or simultaneously pour himself into you, pour his light into you. So kingdom people, they want to know why you. It's because you allow God to have his way with you. You don't have no, maybe some of you do. I just heard. So I'm like, no, and that can be common sometimes. You can have some ways where you're like, not here. No, not this God. However, if you kingdom people for real, if you chosen people for real, and you experience all that crazy stuff from them ones that's asking why you, it's because even if you had some of that going on, you allow him to help you clean it up. They want to know, kingdom, why you? They asking why you. So listen, Isaiah 60:2 says, darkness as black as night covers all the nations of the earth, but the glory of the Lord rises and appears over you. So here's the thing here, kingdom people. It says blackness. I said blackness. Darkness as black as night covers all the nations of the earth. Listen to this. We know we live in a fallen world. It's darkness everywhere. But it says, but the glory of the Lord rises and appears over you. That's what they see. That's what they know. So that's why they want to know why you. But I just explained why. Because you allow God. You allow him. You're walking in his ways. You're walking in his truth. You're doing your best. You allow him to correct you. You're not walking around here perfect and got it all together. Even though some of them think you do. You don't think so. Yeah, you trying to live your best life. And you're always trying to get your life right. I have a thing like every day I'm trying to get my life right. For the rest of my life, I'm going to be trying to get my life right. Not trying to get my life right. For the rest of my life, I'm going to be getting my life right. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Getting your life right with God every single day. Because you are doing that, you look like you got it all together to other people. Because you're working at getting your life right. You're taking the necessary steps. Doing the proper things. I ain't talking about to present an image or make it look away. You for real, trying to get your inner man right with God. So that you can be who he called you and created you to be. So that you can walk in the purpose that he has for you. Kingdom people. And so because of that, kingdom people, it says here, the glory of the Lord rises and appears over you. So in the midst of all this darkness, his glory on you. Why? What did we start out saying? Because you reflect his, so you allow him to pour himself and his light into you so that you can reflect his glory. And be a beacon of light to others. That's what you are. They see that light. That's why they asking, why you? That's why. Because you allow God. You go through the process. You do the work. You ain't over here like, nah, God, you can't come over up in here. This what it's gonna be. And what did we say? There is no room for pride. John 16:33. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows. But take heart, because I have overcome the world. Here's the thing, kingdom people. You have a peace about you. And if you don't, they think you do. And what I mean by that is you can be going through something. Well, you do have a peace. But you can be going through something and it may be a little catastrophic. But you have I'm hearing you grace. God gives you grace right there. So to them ones, you at peace. And you are. You are. But it's because you know Jesus has already overcome the world. Like it says, there are going to be sorrows, trials. It don't mean you don't have those. You do. So they looking at you and saying, why her? Why you? Because you know Jesus already overcame the world. It says here, I have told you all this so that you may have peace. So you receive that peace. He already overcame the world. You might have to walk through some stuff. It goes back to what I was saying in the beginning about how someone be hating on your struggles. Someone be hating on the fact that you can overcome. It's because Jesus already overcame the world. When you accept that, internalize that, I mean, you could just walk through whatever with God. But when you're not doing that, and you're over here telling God which parts you're going to do and which parts you ain't, he can't work with that. So, kingdom people, they asking why you, it's because you do what you do. You do what God asks you to do. And kingdom people, they don't. Not everything. God be giving them small stuff because he already know they're not going to do the bigger stuff. He already know. They've already proven it. They're telling God what they going to do and what they ain't going to do. So he like, okay. Sometimes God will go with that and be like, okay. But then they looking at you, mocking you, is what I just heard, but asking why you. And let me tell you something, kingdom people, I'm hearing at the same time, we already know this, but let me go ahead and say it. Sometimes they be imitating you too, trying to be like you, mocking you, but go over here and then be trying to imitate you and be like you, then be sitting there looking at you, giving you the evil eye. It's like, but you asking why. That's why. Look at you. Look how you're moving. Look at how you operating with who God is moving in, who is allowing God to move and work in them. Look how you acting towards them. You ain't ready for it acting like that. You too mad. And you mad because you're not allowing God to pour himself into you. Not you, kingdom people. Unless it's you. You're tripping because you're not allowing God. They tripping because they not allowing God to pour himself into him, pour his light into them so that they can be a beacon of light for others. They want to be their light. They perpetrate their light. They do it to the extent to try to appear a certain way, but they're not really doing it. So that's why they saying, why you? If they were really doing it, they wouldn't be wondering why you. But here's the key, here's the thing, kingdom people. I just heard, they know why. They know why. They seeing why. They looking at it. But they feel like why you and not them. But I just went all through why. Kingdom people, they are asking why you. Okay? Okay. Whew. Kingdom people, I'm going to let that one rest right there. If you like this video and or if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Look, I'm over here like, why me? We be like that too. They be talking about why you, why him, why her. We like, why me, God? Kingdom people, please click on that red subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you. Then click on that bell right next to that red subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video, something like this one. Also, if you are interested in any of the services that I presently offer, if you're interested in purchasing merch from my product store, and or if you are interested in sowing a seed to me and my ministry or supporting the channel, you can find all the information right down below in the description box. You can also join my YouTube memberships. That link and the button is right down below as well. Also, kingdom people, I think that's all I got for you today. Therefore, we are history makers. We are real changers. We are dream successors. We are wealth generators. We are manifestors. We are curse breakers. And we most definitely are transformers. More than meets the eye. Yeah, kingdom people, we are. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for being here with me, spending this time. I love you all. I appreciate you all for that. You all know I don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. With that being said, much love, light, and peace, and many blessings to you all. Kingdom people, that is my time. Why me? Why you, kingdom people? Jesus girl, she's out. Peace.